She said, "If you really trust me, you'll put my name on your apartment lease," after just 2 months of dating. I smiled and said, "You're right, maybe I don't trust you that much." The next morning, her stuff was gone, and so was my laptop. I'm 29, work as a freelance graphic designer, and I've always been careful with money because I had to be. I grew up watching my mom struggle after my dad cleaned out their joint account and disappeared, so I learned early that protecting your assets isn't about being paranoid, it's about being smart. My name is Jake, and until 2.5 months ago, I thought I'd met someone who actually got that. Her name was Chloe. We matched on a dating app in late July. She was 27, worked in marketing, had this infectious energy that made everything feel exciting. Our first date lasted 6 hours. We went from coffee to lunch to walking around the city to drinks. And by the end of it, I was genuinely thinking this might be something real. She was funny, seemed ambitious, talked about her goals of starting her own consulting firm someday. She mentioned she was currently between apartments, staying with a friend temporarily while she looked for a new place after her previous roommate situation went south. Red flag number 1, which I completely missed. She never elaborated on what went south meant. By week 3, she was staying at my place 4 or 5 nights a week. I didn't mind. My apartment is a 1-bedroom in a decent neighborhood, nothing fancy, but I'd worked hard to afford it and keep it nice. She'd bring over clothes, toiletries, her laptop for work. It felt natural, like we were building something. She'd cook dinner sometimes, we'd watch movies, talk about our days, normal relationship stuff. Then came the conversation that should have ended everything right there. It was a Saturday morning, about 8 weeks in. We were having breakfast. I'd made pancakes, she was scrolling through her phone, when she suddenly looked up at me with this serious expression. "I've been thinking," she said. "I really love being here with you. This feels like home." "I love having you here," I said, because I did. "I'm tired of living out of a suitcase, you know? And my friend needs her space back. She's been patient, but I can't keep crashing there." "Have you found any places to look at?" I asked. She set her phone down. "Actually, I was thinking, why am I looking for a place when I'm here all the time anyway?" "We could make this official. I could move in." I paused, fork halfway to my mouth. "Move in? Like permanently? Why not? We practically live together already. It would save me money, and we'd get to be together more. Plus, I could help with rent." I put my fork down. "Chloe, we've been dating for 2 months. Almost 3, she corrected. "And when you know, right?" There was something in her tone that made me cautious. "I like where we're at right now. Moving in together is a big step. I think we should give it more time." Her expression shifted slightly. "So, you're saying you don't see a future with me?" "That's not what I said. I'm saying 2 months is fast. My parents moved in together after 6 weeks, and they've been married 30 years, she said. That's great for them. I just think we should take our time." She was quiet for a moment, then nodded slowly. "Okay, I get it. You're cautious. That's actually one of the things I like about you." I relaxed a little. "Thank you for understanding. But if I'm going to get my own place, I should probably start looking seriously. 1-bedrooms in this city are expensive." "Yeah, they are. Unless..." She paused, like she was thinking. "What if you added me to your lease? Just as a formality. I could still get my own place, but it would be nice to know I have a backup option. And it would show the landlords I'm looking at that I have stable housing history." "Add you to my lease?" "Just as a secondary tenant or whatever it's called. I wouldn't even have to pay rent if you didn't want me to. It's more about the security of knowing I have somewhere stable." I stared at her. "Chloe, that doesn't make sense. If you're getting your own place, why would you need to be on my lease?" "It's about trust, Jake. If you really trust me, you'll put my name on your apartment lease. It's not like I'm asking you to marry me. It's just a piece of paper." A piece of paper that gives you legal rights to my apartment. Her face hardened. Wow. Okay. So you don't trust me. I've known you for 8 weeks. And that's not enough time to trust someone? To show them you're committed? I felt that familiar tug of guilt, the same one my ex used to pull on, but something in me had learned. You're right, I said calmly. Maybe I don't trust you that much. The silence that followed was arctic. She stood up, leaving her pancakes half-eaten. I need to think, she said, and went into the bedroom. She stayed in there for about an hour. When she came out, she was back to normal, smiling, apologizing for overreacting. She said she understood my position, that she'd let her stress about apartment hunting cloud her judgment. We spent the rest of the day together, watched a movie, ordered takeout. By bedtime, everything seemed fine. I woke up Sunday morning at 9:47 a.m. Chloe was gone. At first I figured she'd gone to grab coffee or run an errand. Then I noticed her overnight bag was missing from the corner where she usually left it. Her toothbrush was gone from the bathroom. The charging cable she kept plugged in by the couch, gone. And my laptop, which I'd left on my desk the night before, was also gone. I called her immediately, straight to voicemail. I texted, "Where are you?" "Did you take my laptop?" No response. I checked my apartment more carefully. My laptop, a MacBook Pro I used for all my freelance work, worth about $2,500, was definitely missing. My iPad was still there. My phone charger, my wallet, my keys, everything else was untouched. Just the laptop. I called again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Finally, at 11:30 a.m., she texted back. I needed to borrow it for a work thing. I'll bring it back. I called her immediately. This time she answered. You took my laptop without asking? I needed it for a presentation. Mine died last night and I have a client meeting tomorrow morning. Relax. Chloe, you can't just take my stuff without asking. That's theft. Theft? Are you serious right now? We're dating. Couples borrow each other's things. Borrowing requires asking first. Where are you? I need it back today. I have work to do. I'll bring it back tonight. No, I need it now. Tell me where you are and I'll come get it. Jesus, Jake. You're being so controlling right now. I said I'll bring it back. This isn't about control. This is about my property that you took without permission. She hung up on me. Update 1. She didn't bring it back that night. Or the next day. By Monday afternoon, I'd left her 8 voicemails and at least 20 texts. Finally, Tuesday morning, she responded, Stop harassing me. I'll return your precious laptop when I'm ready. That's when I realized this wasn't about borrowing equipment for work. This was punishment for not putting her name on my lease. I called the police non-emergency line and explained the situation. The officer I spoke with was sympathetic, but realistic. Technically, if she had access to your apartment and you were in a relationship, it's a gray area. She can claim you gave her permission. Do you have any proof of ownership? I have the receipt and the serial number. That helps. You can file a report, but honestly, these domestic situations are tough. My advice? Try to get her to meet you somewhere public to return it, and if she doesn't, then we can escalate. I filed the report anyway. Case number 2024-87453. At least it was documented. I texted Chloe. I've filed a police report. Return my laptop by end of day or I'm pressing charges. She called me immediately. You did what? I filed a police report for theft. You're insane. I was going to return it today anyway. Great. Where and when? This is so typical of you, Jake. You're paranoid and controlling, and you treat people like they're criminals. You took something that doesn't belong to you and won't return it. That's literally the definition of theft. Fine. Meet me at the Starbucks on Maple Street at 6 p.m. I got there at 5:45, waited until 6:30. She never showed. When I called, she didn't answer. At 7:15 p.m., I got a text from an unknown number with a photo of my laptop. The screen was shattered, completely destroyed. The message read, "Oops." It fell. You can pick it up from the dumpster behind 847 Oak Avenue if you want it back. I drove to that address. It was an apartment complex. I found the dumpster. My laptop was there, screen destroyed, liquid damage visible on the keyboard, completely ruined. I took photos of everything, then retrieved it. The next morning, I went back to the police station with the destroyed laptop and the threatening text. This time, they took it more seriously. "The text came from a different number?" the officer asked. "Yeah, I don't recognize it. She's probably using a texting app or a burner. We can investigate, but I'll be honest with you, the damage is probably less than the felony threshold, so it would be a misdemeanor charge of criminal mischief. She could claim it was an accident." She texted me that she destroyed it. From an unknown number, she can deny it was her. I felt the hopelessness settling in. So she just gets away with it? You can sue her in small claims court for the value of the laptop. That might be your best bet. Update 2. I immediately went home and started documenting everything. Screenshots of every text conversation we'd ever had, the police report number, photos of the destroyed laptop, the receipt showing I'd purchased it 8 months earlier for $2,487. Then I did something I should have done from the start. I Googled her full name with various keywords. Chloe Martinez scam, Chloe Martinez theft, Chloe Martinez fraud. Nothing came up at first. Then I tried searching her name with roommate problems, remembering she'd mentioned a roommate situation going south. I found a post on a local Reddit community from 4 months ago. "Beware of this roommate, Chloe Martinez." The post had been removed, but someone had quoted parts of it in the comments. The story was almost identical to mine. Guy met Chloe, started dating. She wanted to move in quickly. When he said no, she stole his PlayStation and several games. He filed a police report, but she disappeared. I found the user who'd posted it and sent him a direct message explaining what had happened to me. He responded within an hour. "Dude, I'm so sorry. She's done this to at least 3 people I know of now. After she got my stuff, I found out she'd done the same thing to her previous roommate, asked to be added to the lease, got rejected, then trashed the place when she moved out. The roommate tried to sue, but Chloe just never showed up to court. Do you know where she lives? Last I heard, she was couch surfing. She doesn't keep a permanent address, which makes it hard to serve her legal papers. That's part of her strategy. What's her actual job? She told me she works in marketing. I don't think she has a real job. I think this is her job. She targets people who seem financially stable, tries to get access to their stuff or their apartment, and when they catch on, she takes what she can and moves on. My stomach turned. I'd been so careful my whole life, and I'd still fallen for it. Did you ever get your stuff back? I asked. Nope. She sold the PlayStation on Facebook Marketplace the same day she took it. I found the listing, but by the time I contacted the buyer, he'd already picked it up. He felt bad and gave me the address where he met her. Another apartment complex, where she was visiting a friend. When I went there, no one knew her. I spent the next week trying to track her down. I contacted her supposed marketing firm. They'd never heard of her. I tried the address she'd listed on her dating profile. It was a vacant lot. I even checked with mutual friends from the dating app, but none of them had real information about her. She'd essentially vanished, leaving me with a destroyed $2,500 laptop and the sinking realization that everything about her had been calculated. Update 3. 2 weeks after the laptop incident, I got a Facebook friend request from a woman named Jessica. Her profile was private except for her profile picture. The message that came with the request said, "I think we dated the same person." Chloe Martinez? I accepted immediately and called her. Jessica's story was almost copy-pasted from mine. They'd met online 3 months before I'd met Chloe, dated for about 6 weeks. Chloe had pressured her to co-sign on a car loan because her credit was temporarily bad due to identity theft. When Jessica refused, Chloe stole her jewelry and designer handbags. Total value, around $4,000. I filed a police report, but she was gone before they could do anything. I tried to sue her, but she's impossible to serve. I finally let it go because it was consuming my life. "How did you find me?" I asked. "I've been tracking her social media presence." She deleted her main accounts after she ghosted me, but I noticed she was still active on the dating apps. I created fake profiles to watch for her. "When I saw you commenting on a local subreddit about freelance design work, I recognized your name from her Instagram before she deleted it. She'd posted a photo of you two together once." "She posted us together?" "Yeah, about a month into your relationship. Caption was something like, 'Found my person' with a heart emoji, probably part of making herself look legitimate to the next target." Jesus. I found 2 other victims. There's a guy named Marcus who she convinced to let her use his address for mail. She racked up credit cards in her name with his address, destroyed his credit when they came after him for her debts. There's another woman, Priya, who Chloe borrowed $3,000 from for emergency medical bills and never paid back. "We should report this to someone, the police, the FBI, something." I've tried. Because each incident is relatively small and in different jurisdictions, nobody wants to take it on. She's careful to keep it under felony thresholds. It's all misdemeanor stuff that's not worth the resources. Jessica had created a document tracking everything: dates, amounts, methods, known aliases. Chloe had used at least 3 different last names. Martinez was probably fake too. "So we just let her keep doing this?" I asked. "I didn't say that," Jessica replied. "I said the police won't help. But we can warn people. We can make it harder for her to find new victims." Final update. Jessica, Marcus, Priya, the Reddit guy, and I formed what we jokingly called the Chloe Survivors Club. We created a private website documenting her known photos, aliases, methods, and locations. We posted warnings in local subreddit communities, dating app safety forums, and roommate finder groups. We made sure that anyone who Googled her name or reverse image searched her photos would find warnings. Within 2 weeks of launching the site, we got contacted by 3 more people with similar stories. She'd been at this for at least 2 years, possibly longer. Total estimated damages across all known victims, over $30,000. The one thing that finally got law enforcement interested was Marcus's credit situation, because she'd committed identity-adjacent fraud by using his address to open credit accounts that crossed into federal territory. The FBI agreed to open an investigation. As of last month, 3 months after she stole my laptop, Chloe was arrested trying to board a flight to Las Vegas with someone else's credit cards. Turns out she'd escalated to full identity theft with her newest target. She's currently being held on $50,000 bail that she obviously can't make. The DA contacted all of us to build a case. With all our documentation and testimony, they're confident they can get her on multiple fraud charges. I'll probably never see compensation for my laptop, but at least she's facing actual consequences. I've learned to trust my instincts better. When someone asks you to take a major financial or legal step way too early, it's not because they love you deeply. It's because they're trying to gain leverage. When someone gets angry or manipulative over you protecting your assets, they're showing you exactly who they are. My mom called me last week to check in. I told her the whole story. She was quiet for a minute, then said, "I'm proud of you for saying no to the lease thing. That's the moment that saved you from way worse." She was right. If I'd added Chloe to my lease, she could have squatted in my apartment, brought in other people, trashed the place, and I would have had almost no legal recourse to remove her quickly. The laptop was replaceable. My home, my security, my sanity, those weren't. I'm still freelancing, rebuilt my client files from backups, bought a new laptop with better insurance this time. I'm not dating right now, maybe in a few months, but next time, Someone can prove themselves trustworthy before they get access to any part of my life that matters. And if anyone ever asks me to add them to my lease after 2 months, I'll smile and say, "You're right, maybe I don't trust you that much." Because sometimes, protecting yourself means being okay with looking like the bad guy to someone who was never good for you anyway. Edit. A few people have asked if I got anything back from the FBI investigation. As of now, no. The DA said that restitution would be ordered if she's convicted, but I'm not holding my breath. The laptop is a sunk cost at this point. The real win was stopping her from doing this to more people. Edit 2. Someone asked how we tracked her down for the website. Jessica did most of that work. She's in IT security and knows how to dig through public records. We used old addresses from police reports, cross-referenced them with property records and known associates, and built a timeline. It's scary how much information is publicly available if you know where to look. We made sure everything we posted was factual and documented, so she couldn't claim defamation. My girlfriend said, "I would never cheat on you." I wanted to believe her. But one night, I looked at her phone messages were coming from someone she shouldn't have been talking to. I read everything. I calmly replied, "I know what you did." Then her next message. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm 31, work in finance, and I thought I had my life figured out. Been with Sarah for 3 years, living together for the last 18 months in a decent apartment in Brooklyn. We had routines, inside jokes, a shared Netflix account, and one of those couples' gym memberships we actually used. Everything felt solid, normal, like we were building towards something permanent. Sarah's 29, works as a marketing manager for a boutique agency. She's smart, funny, the kind of person who remembers your coffee order and actually listens when you talk about your day. My friends liked her. My parents loved her. I was looking at engagement rings in March, casually browsing online during lunch breaks, thinking maybe I'd propose by the end of summer. The thing about trust is you don't realize how fragile it is until something cracks it. And once it cracks, you start noticing all the little things you ignored before. It started small. Sarah had always been on her phone a lot, work stuff mostly, group chats with friends, the usual social media scrolling. But around mid-April, something shifted. She started angling her screen away from me when we were sitting on the couch. She'd get texts late at night and immediately grab her phone before I could see the notification. When I'd ask who it was, she'd say, "Just work," or "Just Jessica," and change the subject. I told myself I was being paranoid. Sarah had never given me a reason not to trust her. We'd had the cheating conversation early on, one of those deep 2 a.m. talks where you lay out your boundaries and deal breakers. She'd looked me in the eyes and said, "I would never cheat on you. If I ever felt like I wanted someone else, I'd tell you first. I'd end things properly. I'm not that kind of person." I believed her. But the phone thing kept getting worse. She started taking calls in the other room. She'd shower with her phone on the bathroom counter, which she'd never done before. One night in late April, we were watching a movie and her phone buzzed 3 times in a row. She grabbed it, read something, and her face went red. Not embarrassed, red. Guilty red. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, fine. Jessica's having drama with her boyfriend again." "Want to talk about it?" "No, it's boring. Let's just watch the movie." But her hands were shaking when she put the phone down. That's when I started paying attention. Really paying attention. Sarah worked late more often. Tuesday and Thursday nights, sometimes Wednesdays too. She'd come home around 9 or 10 p.m. smelling like wine and saying they'd had client dinners or team meetings. Her agency was small, maybe 15 people total. I'd met most of them at a holiday party last December. I couldn't remember them having this many evening events before. On May 3rd, a Friday night, we were supposed to have dinner at this Italian place we both loved. Sarah texted me at 4:30 p.m. saying something came up at work and she'd be home late. I was already at the restaurant when I got the message. I sat there for 20 minutes feeling stupid, then went home and ordered Thai food by myself. She came home at 11:45 p.m. I was still awake, reading on the couch. "Hey, sorry about tonight," she said, not quite meeting my eyes. "Everything just blew up at the office." "On a Friday night?" "Yeah, client emergency. You know how it is." I didn't know how it was, actually. My job has emergencies too, but they don't usually involve coming home smelling like expensive cologne that I definitely don't wear. I didn't say anything, just nodded and went to bed. May 8th. Wednesday night. Sarah said she had another late meeting. I was working from home that day, finishing up some reports around 7 p.m. when I decided to order us dinner from her favorite Thai place. Thought I'd surprise her when she got home. I called her office line. No answer. Tried her cell. Straight to voicemail. Called again an hour later. Still nothing. She walked through the door at 10:15 p.m., and this time I knew something was wrong because she'd changed clothes. She'd left that morning wearing a black blazer and gray slacks. She came home in jeans and a sweater I'd never seen before. "Hey," she said brightly. "Sorry, my phone died." "Did you eat?" "Yeah. Where were you?" "I told you, work thing." "You changed clothes." She blinked. "What?" "You're wearing different clothes than when you left this morning." I watched her scramble for an explanation. "Oh, I spilled coffee on myself during the meeting. Had to change." "Into clothes you just happened to have at the office?" "I keep backup outfits there. You know that. I didn't know that." And I was pretty sure she was lying. That night, after she fell asleep, I did something I'm not proud of. I took her phone from the nightstand, went into the bathroom, and looked through it. Her passcode was my birthday. She'd never changed it. The trust felt like a knife in my gut as I unlocked the screen. I went straight to her messages. Most of it was normal. Group chats with friends, work stuff with colleagues, random memes. Then I saw a thread with a contact labeled Travis Work. The last message was from 9:47 p.m. "Tonight was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you." My hands went cold. I scrolled up. Weeks of messages. Flirty texts starting in early April. Complaints about her boyfriend, me, being distant and not getting her anymore. Him saying she deserved better. Her saying she felt guilty but couldn't help how she felt. Plans to meet up for drinks. An address that I recognized as a hotel in Manhattan from May 3rd. The night she'd canceled our dinner. Photos. Nothing explicit, but intimate. Her laughing at a bar. The two of them at some restaurant. A selfie of her in that sweater she'd worn home tonight, taken in what looked like someone else's apartment. The most recent message before the 9:47 p.m. one was from her, sent at 8:30 p.m. I hate lying to him, but I'm not ready to end things yet. I need more time. His response, "Take all the time you need." I'm not going anywhere. I sat on the bathroom floor reading everything 3 times, my brain refusing to process it. This wasn't happening. Sarah wouldn't do this. She'd promised. She'd looked me in the eye and promised. But the messages were right there. Hundreds of them. I thought about confronting her immediately, waking her up and demanding answers, but something in me went cold and calculating instead. I took screenshots of everything, sent them to myself, then deleted the evidence that I'd sent them, put her phone back exactly where I'd found it. Then I went back to the bathroom and replied to Travis from her phone. "I know what you did." I watched the typing bubbles appear almost immediately, then disappear, then appear again. Finally, "Sarah? What's going on?" I didn't reply. Just put the phone back and went to sleep in the guest room. Update 1, I woke up at 6 a.m. to the sound of Sarah's voice in the bedroom, panicked and hushed. She was on the phone. "I don't know, Travis. Someone sent a message from my phone. No, he's asleep, it couldn't have been him. Maybe someone hacked it? I don't know what to do." I got up, walked into the bedroom. She saw me, and her face went white. "I have to go," she said quickly and hung up. We stared at each other for a long moment. "So," I said, "want to tell me about Travis?" She opened her mouth, closed it. Tears started streaming down her face, which would have worked on me a month ago, but right now just made me angry. "How long have you known?" she whispered. "Does it matter?" "Luke, I can explain." "Don't. Please don't insult me by trying to explain this away. It's not what you think." "Really?" "Because what I think is that you've been sleeping with someone from your office for the past month and a half while lying to my face every single day. Am I wrong?" She crumpled onto the bed, sobbing. "I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen. But it did happen. Multiple times, apparently. I was confused. We've been distant lately, and Travis he paid attention to me. He made me feel special." "I made you feel special for 3 years, Sarah. I know, and I hate myself for this. But can we please just talk? Can we work through this?" I laughed. Actually laughed. "Work through this? You've been lying to me for months. You canceled our anniversary dinner to sleep with him. You came home wearing clothes you changed into at his apartment, and you told him you weren't ready to break up with me yet. Not that you wanted to fix things with me, that you weren't ready to leave." "That's not... I didn't mean it like that." "How did you mean it?" She didn't answer, just cried harder. "I'm going to stay at my brother's for a few days," I said. "When I come back, I want you gone. Find somewhere else to live. We'll figure out the lease later. Please don't do this. Please, Luke. I love you." "No, you don't. And honestly, I don't think I love you anymore either." I packed a bag and left before she could say anything else. Update 2. My brother James lives in Jersey City with his wife. They set up their guest room for me without asking questions, which I appreciated. James just handed me a beer and said, "Whenever you're ready to talk." I told him everything that night. He listened, got progressively angrier, and finally said, "You're handling this way better than I would." I'd have lost my mind. "I think I'm in shock," I admitted. "Like, I know what happened. I saw the messages, but part of me still can't believe it's real." "What are you going to do?" "Break the lease, move out, start over, I guess." "You sure you don't want to try to work it out?" I looked at him. "Would you? If Emma did this to you?" He thought about it. "No, probably not. Sarah texted me constantly for the first 2 days. Apologies, explanations, promises to end things with Travis, begging me to come home so we could talk properly. I responded once, "I need space. Please respect that." She didn't. The messages kept coming. So I muted her conversation and tried to focus on work. On day 3, I got a message from an unknown number. "Hey man, this is Travis. Can we talk?" I stared at my phone for a solid minute before replying. What could we possibly have to talk about? "I know you probably hate me. I just want to explain my side." "Your side?" "You slept with my girlfriend. There's no side to explain. I didn't know she had a boyfriend until 2 weeks ago." That stopped me cold. "What?" "Sarah told me she was single when we met. We started talking in April, went on a few dates, everything seemed normal. Then a few weeks ago she broke down and admitted she was living with someone. I told her she needed to end it with you, or I was done. She said she would, but she needed time." I read the message 3 times. "You're saying she lied to both of us?" "Yeah. I feel like shit about it. If I'd known from the start, I never would have. Look, I'm not trying to make excuses. I just thought you should know she was playing both of us." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because she called me crying yesterday saying you kicked her out, and she didn't understand why you were being so cruel. I asked her if she'd told you the truth, and she said she had, but based on your message the other night, I'm guessing she didn't tell you everything." My head was spinning. What else didn't she tell me? She's been looking at apartments. Places for just her. She was planning to leave you anyway. She just wanted to have everything set up first so the transition would be easier. I felt sick. Thanks for telling me, I typed. For what it's worth, you seem like less of an asshole than I thought. For what it's worth, you seem like you deserve better than her. Update 3. I went back to the apartment on Saturday, a week after I'd left. Sarah wasn't there. She'd texted saying she was staying with a friend, so I had the place to myself. I started packing my stuff, clothes, books, my gaming setup, kitchen items I'd bought. It was depressing how quickly 3 years of shared life could be sorted into mine and hers. I was in the bedroom closet when I found it, a folder tucked behind her shoeboxes. Inside, apartment listings, pages printed from rental websites, all for one-bedroom places in Manhattan. They were dated early April, before she'd even started whatever she had with Travis. There was also a pros and cons list, handwritten on a yellow legal pad. Staying with Luke, comfortable, financially stable, good guy, parents like him. Leaving, freedom, fresh start, can be myself. Pursue real passion, career, relationship, don't feel settled, old under leaving. She'd written in different pen, like she'd added it later. Travis makes me feel alive again. I sat on the floor holding this list, and something clicked into place. This wasn't about Travis. Travis was just the excuse, the catalyst. Sarah had been planning to leave for months. She'd just been too comfortable, too scared, or too guilty to pull the trigger. Meeting Travis gave her permission to blow everything up. And she'd still tried to make me the bad guy for being cruel about it. I took a photo of the list, packed the rest of my things, and left my keys on the kitchen counter. Texted Sarah. Your apartment now. I'll transfer my half of next month's rent, and then you're on your own for the lease. Don't contact me again. She replied immediately. Can we please talk in person? I need closure. You had your closure. I found your list. You were planning to leave anyway. I just sped up the process. What list? I sent her the photo. The typing bubbles appeared and disappeared about 8 times. Finally, that was just me processing my feelings. I wasn't actually going to leave. Doesn't matter now. We're done either way. I hate you for this. And there it was. The real Sarah, finally showing up. Yeah, I typed back. I'm sure you do. Good luck with Travis, or whoever's next. I blocked her number after that. Finale update. That was 3 months ago. It's August now. I'm living in a studio in Astoria, smaller than our old place, but it's mine. James helped me move in. His wife, Emma, helped me pick out furniture and made sure I had actual food in my fridge instead of just beer and takeout. Work's been good. I threw myself into a big project in June, worked long hours, and ended up getting recognized for it. My boss pulled me aside last week and said there might be a promotion coming my way in the 4th quarter. Silver lining, I guess. I heard through mutual friends that Sarah and Travis dated for about a month after everything exploded, then crashed and burned. Apparently, once the excitement of sneaking around wore off, they realized they didn't actually have much in common. She moved back in with her parents in Connecticut. Last I heard, she's job hunting because she quit her position at the agency. Too awkward with Travis still there. I ran into Jessica, Sarah's friend, at a coffee shop in July. It was awkward at first, but she pulled me aside and apologized. I knew something was off, she admitted. Sarah kept talking about this guy from work, and I told her she was playing with fire. But she kept saying you two were basically over anyway, and she was just figuring things out. I should have said something to you. It's not your job to police your friends' relationships, I said. But I appreciate you saying that. For the record, she regrets it. Losing you, I mean. She told me you were the best thing that ever happened to her and she threw it away for nothing. That's something she'll have to live with. Jessica nodded. You seem good. Better than I expected. I'm getting there. And I am. It's strange. Some days I miss the routines, the comfort of having someone to come home to. Other days I'm grateful I found out when I did, before I proposed, before we got married and had kids and I was stuck in a life with someone who saw me as comfortable instead of someone she actually loved. I'm not dating yet, not ready, but I'm okay with that. I've been going to the gym more, picked up guitar again, started reading books instead of just watching TV every night. Small things, but they feel like progress. My mom called me last week. Sarah had apparently reached out to her on Facebook, asking if there was any chance I'd talk to her. Mom shut it down immediately and told me about it. I always liked her, Mom said. But I like you more. And you deserve someone who doesn't need to make a pros and cons list about whether you're worth staying with. Thanks, Mom. Are you really doing okay? Not just saying it? I really am. Most days anyway. And that's the truth. I'm not great yet. But I'm better than I was 3 months ago, and that's enough for now. Edit. A few people have asked if I ever responded to Sarah's message to my mom. I didn't. And I don't plan to. Whatever she has to say at this point doesn't matter. That chapter's closed, and I'm not interested in reopening it just because she's having regrets. Edit 2. Travis actually reached out again last month, just to check in, see how I was doing. We got coffee. Weird situation, but he seems like a decent guy who got caught up in Sarah's mess, same as me. We're not friends exactly, but we're civil. Sometimes life's strange like that. My wife announced, "I'm pregnant with your brother's baby, accept it." I responded, "Congratulations." Then I revealed his vasectomy from 5 years ago. When the true father was exposed as her sister's husband, the family shattered at Thanksgiving. I'm Jake, 32, and was in our living room when Rochelle, 30, my wife of 6 years, walked in with a smug grin. Our marriage had been rocky for months. Dead bedroom, endless fights over finances, her spending every weekend at her sister's. I was about to suggest therapy when she said, "We need to talk," sitting across from me, not beside me. Warning sign. I'm pregnant. My first thought was confusion. We hadn't been intimate in 3 months. Before I could speak, she added, "It's Damon's." Damon, my younger brother, 29, a thriving contractor who'd just bought a house, my best man at our wedding. She sat there, arms crossed, looking almost proud. I know this is tough to hear, but Damon and I are in love. Have been for months. You'll just have to deal with it. I stared for maybe 10 seconds. "Congrats," I said. Her smug look wavered. "That's it? Congrats? What else should I say? You're having a baby. Great news. You're not mad?" "Oh, I'm something, but I'm mostly curious about the details." "What details?" "Well, Damon had a vasectomy 5 years ago." Her face went pale. "What? No, he didn't." "Yeah, he did. Remember when he was with Cassandra, the one with 3 kids who wanted more? He got snipped because he never wanted kids. I drove him to the clinic." "You're lying." I pulled out my phone, scrolled to a 2019 photo of Damon holding frozen peas to his groin, grinning with a thumbs up. He sent this to our group chat, joking about firing blanks for weeks. Rochelle grabbed my phone, staring at the image, hands trembling. "He never told me," she muttered. "Probably because you never actually slept with him." Update 1. After that bombshell, Rochelle lost it, screaming I was gaslighting her, insisting Damon must have reversed the procedure, accusing me of fabricating lies to hurt her. I texted Damon, "Rochelle claims she's pregnant with your kid." "Congrats," he called instantly. "What the hell, man?" "I haven't seen Rochelle since your birthday in June." I put him on speaker. Rochelle lunged for my phone, but I kept it out of reach. Damon continued, "Is this why she kept sending me weird DMs? I blocked her on Instagram last month for those flirty photos." "You blocked me?" Rochelle shrieked. "Rochelle, what's wrong with you? You're married to my brother." She hung up on him. The next morning, she switched tactics, cooking breakfast for the first time in a year, wearing lingerie at 7 a.m. "Babe, I was confused. Pregnancy hormones messed with my head. It's your baby." I panicked. We haven't had sex since August. That's not true. Remember after Zoe's wedding? That was July. It's November. She faltered, doing mental math. I meant Labor Day weekend. I was at a work conference. You were at your sister Gwen's beach house. Her face drained again. Gotcha. How far along are you? 8 weeks. So, conceived early September, when you were with Gwen and her husband, Terrell. She stood so fast her plate flipped, eggs splattering. I'm going to Gwen's. Great. Pack all your stuff while you're there. Update 2. Things escalated fast. Rochelle's mom, Desiree, called, sobbing. How could you kick out a pregnant woman? She said it's not mine, claimed it's Damon's. She's confused, pregnancy fog. Desiree, she's cheating. You know it. You can't prove that. Actually, I can. I hired a PI last month when she started acting strange. Got photos of her meeting someone at hotels multiple times. Silence. You spied on her? I suspected infidelity. I was right, she hung up. Then the family group chat erupted. Rochelle added everyone, my parents, her parents, siblings, cousins, posting a long rant about me abandoning her and our child. My mom fired back. Didn't you just say it was Damon's? Rochelle. I was confused. Damon, I'm sending my vasectomy records to everyone. I've been sterile for 5 years. He did, sharing the full medical file. Gwen, Rochelle's sister, wrote, This is private. Stop airing family drama. Odd response for someone uninvolved, right? Then Imani, Rochelle's other sister, dropped a bomb. Gwen, wasn't Rochelle at your place for 3 weeks in September? Gwen left the chat. Terrell, Gwen's husband, left. Rochelle left. My dad. Thanksgiving's gonna be weird. Update 3. Terrell called, first time ever, directly. We need to talk man to man. We met at a sports bar. He looked wrecked, eye bags, unshaven, wearing clothes from his Instagram story 3 days prior. Did you know? I asked. Not till the group chat, but it clicks now. Gwen's been weird, guarding her phone, accusing me of cheating out of nowhere. You think Rochelle and Gwen... No, man. He took a long sip. Rochelle and me. What? Labor Day weekend, beach house. I got blackout drunk, woke up on the couch, shirt inside out. Rochelle was off the next morning. Gwen said I passed out and she put me to bed, but... You think Rochelle? I don't think... I know. Found a video on our cloud from the bedroom security cam. My stomach churned. At the beach house? Yeah, installed for break-ins. It auto-uploads. He showed his phone, just the timestamp, September 2nd, 3:27 a.m. Rochelle sneaking out of their bedroom, hair messy, shoes in hand. Gwen was out cold on Xanax and wine. She takes anxiety meds, sleeps like a rock when she mixes them. So Rochelle waited till we were both out and... He couldn't finish. That's assault if you were that drunk. Try explaining that to anyone. A guy saying a woman assaulted him while his wife was in the bed? We sat silently. The baby's probably mine, he said. Timeline fits. What now? No clue, but Thanksgiving's tomorrow at Gwen's mom's. Everyone's there. I'm going with receipts, update 4. I wasn't planning to attend Thanksgiving, hosted yearly by Rochelle's family, but Damon texted our group chat. Bro, you gotta come. Terrell told me something. Trust me. My mom called. Desiree insisted you be there. Rochelle has a big announcement. Against my instincts, I went. The room was a powder keg, Rochelle whispering fiercely with Gwen, Terrell at the table's far end chugging bourbon, Damon beside my parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins sensing drama, but clueless. Desiree clinked her glass. Before dinner, Rochelle has something to say. Rochelle stood, radiating confidence. Despite struggles in my marriage, I'm thrilled to announce I'm pregnant. Scattered claps, some puzzled looks at the struggles comment. She looked at me. I've decided to raise this baby with someone who truly loves me, who's been there through it all. She grabbed Gwen's hand. My sister and I are moving in together to raise this child as a family, with or without the deadbeat dad. Wait, what? Was she implying? Gwen looked confused, but smiled. Yeah, I'll always support my sister. Terrell stood. I've got something to share too. Silence. Since we're on the baby topic, let's talk about how it was conceived. Rochelle paled. Terrell, don't. No, everyone should know. He connected his phone to the Bluetooth speaker. Audio played, September 2nd, 3:47 a.m. Rochelle's voice slurred. He won't remember. Gwen's out cold. Terrell, barely conscious. What? What are you doing? Stop, Rochelle. Quit whining. You've been flirting all weekend, Terrell. No. Get off, Rochelle, laughing. Gwen's unconscious. I slipped extra Xanax in her wine. Relax, Desiree gasped. Turn it off. There's more, Terrell said. Security footage of her leaving our bedroom, plus PI photos of her buying Plan B the next day. Guess it didn't work. Gwen stood, glaring at Rochelle. You drugged me. Slept with my husband. It wasn't like that. He came on to me. We heard you admit to drugging me. That's out of context. What context makes this okay? Gwen screamed. Rochelle turned to me. This is your fault. If you'd been a better husband. You drugged your sister and assaulted her husband because I was a bad husband? The room erupted, Desiree sobbing, Gwen lunging at Rochelle but restrained by cousins, Terrell tossing his wedding ring at Gwen's feet and storming out. My mom prayed aloud. Damon recorded it all. Rochelle tried one last ploy. I'm pregnant. You can't do this to a pregnant woman. Imani laughed bitterly. You admitted to sexual assault on tape in front of everyone. It wasn't assault, he wanted it. We heard him say no, drunk. Rochelle grabbed her purse and fled. Gwen collapsed, sobbing. Thanksgiving was done. Update 5. The fallout's been wild. Terrell filed a police report with the audio, video, and Plan B receipt as evidence. Rochelle's been begging everyone to make him drop it. She showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m., pounding the door. Please help me. They say I could go to jail. You drugged and assaulted someone. It wasn't assault. We were drunk. You admitted drugging Gwen and Terrell was unconscious. He got aroused. That means he wanted it. That's not how it works, and you know it. If I go to jail, what about the baby? Not my problem. You're my husband. The divorce papers you'll get tomorrow say otherwise. She tried pushing inside. I blocked her. Leave, or I call the cops. I started dialing. She ran. The family split. Team Rochelle, Desiree. She made a mistake, but family sticks together. Her aunt Keisha, Terrell probably led her on, and 2 cousins who think men can't be assaulted. Team, everyone else. Literally everyone else. Gwen filed for divorce and a restraining order, posting on Facebook, learning your sister drugged you to sleep with your husband isn't how I plan to end 2024. The comments were brutal, but fair. Rochelle's entitlement hit new peaks. She tried suing Terrell for child support, claiming he's the biological father and must provide. Her lawyer dropped her after hearing the recording. In family court, representing herself, she argued, regardless of how it happened, he's the father and has to pay. The judge stared, incredulous. Ma'am, you're under investigation for sexual assault against the man you're suing. But the baby needs... Focus on your criminal case. She then tried claiming I should pay support since we were married during conception, making me the presumptive father. My lawyer crushed it. My client has texts where she admitted it's not his, and he was out of town during conception. Her peak audacity? A pregnancy blog, thriving through betrayal, casting herself as a victim abandoned in her time of need, writing, Society fails pregnant women who make tough choices for love. Someone posted screenshots on Twitter. The ratio was glorious. A commenter wrote, Tough choices equals drugging your sister and assaulting her husband. Get help. The blog was down in 72 hours for violating guidelines. Update 6. Christmas neared, and Rochelle went full chaos. She faked texts from me threatening her, posting on Instagram about escaping domestic abuse. Problem? She's tech dumb. The timestamps clashed with my work presentations to 50 people, and she used the wrong area code. Internet sleuths dismantled it in minutes, finding the fake text app she used. Her account got banned for misinformation. Then she tried breaking into Gwen's house to retrieve her things. She never lived there. Gwen's Ring camera caught her at 3 a.m., prying a window, wearing a baby-on-board shirt, as if pregnancy excused burglary. Cops arrested her for attempted burglary and violating the restraining order, plus the ongoing assault investigation. She told police she was reclaiming her property, and Gwen stole her baby's father. The officers report, "You can't break into someone's home over relationship drama." Desiree paid bail but posted on Facebook about the rigged system targeting pregnant women. Update 7. Here's the current state. Rochelle's with Desiree, her only defender, facing multiple charges, still pregnant, still delusional. Her pregnancy support fund raised $73 from her mom's church friends, unaware of the full story, until someone posted the recording, stopping donations. She's banned from family events. Imani said she tried crashing a cousin's birthday, getting tossed by hired security. Gwen's in therapy, living with Imani, her divorce moving fast since Terrell isn't fighting. She posted, "I lost my husband and sister in one blow. Their betrayal is unbearable. Terrell was unconscious. Rochelle was sober when she chose to ruin me." Terrell, living with his brother, confirmed via DNA he's the father but wants no custody, signing away rights. His lawyer's pushing the assault case. He told me, "I can't look at anything from that weekend without nausea." My divorce finalized quickly due to her infidelity admission and charges. She got only her belongings and her car, repossessed last week for missed payments. I'm dating Quinn, a teacher from my gym who finds this saga wild, joking she's glad to be an only child. Damon's shaken that Rochelle tried pinning the baby on him despite his sterility, sharing his records with 3 lawyers. His Reddit post, "My SIL claimed I got her pregnant despite my vasectomy," went viral. The baby, due in May be born in custody. Desiree plans to raise it, but shows early dementia signs. The state might take custody, a tragedy not my fault but Rochelle's, who drugged her sister, assaulted her brother-in-law, tried to frame my brother, lied, doubled down, and ruined every relationship for attention and drama. Final update. Rochelle's trial was last week, a disaster for her. She arrived 6 months pregnant in a blessed maternity dress. Her public defender looked defeated. The prosecution played the audio, showed the footage, presented Plan B receipts, and had the pharmacy clerk testify, recalling Rochelle laughing about doing something stupid while drunk. Rochelle took the stand against advice, claiming it was consensual role play. Asked why Gwen was unconscious, she said, "She always overdoes Xanax, not my fault." The prosecutor, "You admitted on tape to adding extra to her wine." That was a joke. "Do you often joke about drugging people?" "I didn't drug Terrell." "No, just your sister to assault her husband." "It was an assault," he responded physically. The judge called a recess. Jurors looked sick. Verdict: guilty of third-degree sexual assault and administering a drug to commit a crime. Sentencing's next month, likely 2 to 4 years. She'll probably give birth in custody. Desiree had a courtroom meltdown, screaming about the system ruining a mother, and was removed. She's still posting on Facebook for prayers for her persecuted daughter. Gwen's victim impact statement. "She was my sister, my closest confidant. She drugged me, violated my husband in our bed, then played victim. The betrayal keeps me awake. I trust no one Terrell's. I'm in therapy twice weekly. I can't be intimate, have nightmares. A child from this assault makes it worse. I'm signing away rights. I can't face a reminder of that night." Rochelle interrupted. "You're abandoning your kid." The judge, "Ma'am, you're making this worse." Her last pre-jail post, Wrongfully convicted for love. This isn't over. Yes, Rochelle, it is. My divorce is final. I'm in therapy for the betrayal. Quinn and I are slow but steady. She held my hand in court. I sold the house, moved near work, blocked Rochelle's family except Imani and Gwen, who've been supportive. Damon and I are tighter than ever. He jokes his vasectomy saved him but sees the same therapist. The baby's fate is heartbreaking, born into chaos through no fault of its own. Desiree's dementia worsens. The state may intervene. That's on Rochelle, who chose to destroy everything for selfish thrills. I'm moving on, living my life. If your partner claims they're pregnant with your sibling's kid, run. But check if your sibling's sterile first. Saves drama. Edit. Yes, this is real. No, I won't share court documents or names. Terrell's in therapy for male assault victims with a specialist. Men can be victims too. Edit 2. Stop hunting Rochelle's social media. She's in jail. Let it go. Edit 3. For those asking about Thanksgiving recipes since ours imploded, Mom's mac and cheese is killer, but her secret's a drama-free family, so sort that out first.